We have seen yesterday types of windows. So there are two kinds of windows, primary windows and secondary window. So as usual, you should have a concept of this is like, which is something similar to primary key and secondary key when it is related. Primary key means it's a main key, right? Secondary key is nothing but like, which is depends on the primary key, right? So if we delete the primary window, the secondary windows will not have that function, will not function correctly. If we something like that. So primary window is the main window, which is the window generally will be the one when we'll start the application, the first window which will appear apart from the login windows. Secondary windows are not the main windows, which will be the which will initiate through the primary windows, and these are the types of the secondary windows. So we have seen this yesterday. Primary window, what is primary window, which is also called as a parent window, and secondary window, in that we too have a dependent secondary window and independent secondary window. So dependent means which will be getting initiated from the primary window, right? There are independent windows which is directly open as a window irrespective of the primary window, right? So for example, properties in the desktop, so which is not related to any of the application, which is not related to any of the primary kind of windows. So in any application, there can be possibility that you may have a independent secondary windows, right? Then there are types of secondary windows: dialog boxes, property sheets and property inspectors, message boxes, palette windows, and pop-up windows. So all these are the types of the secondary windows. So this is what yesterday we have seen. Now we'll start with the next topic, that is organizing the Windows function. It's very small topic. I don't think any question can be come on this, but you need to understand, because uh, any window will have some dedicated function. It will have some kinds of different tasks, right? So through that window you will be initiating the different tasks, right? So when we it comes to the Windows organization, it will organize the windows to support the user task, to support the user to do some task. So that is nothing but the user task. So it will support user tasks. It also supports the most common task in most efficient sequence of steps, right? So many times when we'll open, most of the time primary window will open. You take any application, if you open uh, any PDF or you open any PPT, when you will click on new and it will open a new PPT, the screen will be same. You will be having on the top some menu options. You will be having one working area. On the left side you will be having something which from which you can select, right? So there will be a fixed kind of applications or fixed kind of task will be there on every screen, on every windows. That means what, we are using the windows, we are developing the windows, we are designing the windows to do some kind of specific task which will be helpful for the users whenever he wants to work on that application, right? So you can use the primary window, you can use it as a secondary window, or you can use it as a dialog boxes. So when we are doing the organization of window, you have to think that whether this should be used, this window should be created as a primary window, should be created as a secondary window, and should, or it should be created as a dialog boxes. That's what you need to understand. So how you need to organize that window. So when, as we have seen in the last class, when we'll go for the primary window, right? It is the one which is the main window. It is the one which is the primary window, which is on the top level of your in the organization. I mean, in the Windows organization, it is in the top level. So from where the interaction will start, from where the interaction will begin, right? So and it will perform the most of the interaction. It will do a lot of interaction from Then it is going to the secondary window. When we'll organize any window as a secondary window, when we need to initiate further action, which everything we cannot put it on the primary window, right? So when we need to extend the interaction, we are going for the secondary window. When we need to give a lot of information, which we call it as a supplemental information with respect to the primary window, then we are going for the secondary window. And when we are going to organize the dialog boxes, the dialog boxes which is infrequently used, but we need the information. The information is required, but which is not very frequently required. Or sometimes we can use dialog boxes as a message boxes. Sometimes we can use the dialog boxes as a pop-up window. Sometimes we can use the dialog boxes as just for alert messages, just taking a quick data. Like that also we can use the dialog boxes. So this is what, whenever you wanted to create any window, you have to think from the designer's point of view. You have to think which one should be a primary window, on which window what information should be, what task should be assigned, right? And then when we are thinking about all these things, also you have to think about the second point about number of windows. You can see that number of windows. So when you will say it's a primary window, and then you will say a secondary window, so when you will click on something and it will open a new window, so we can say it is a secondary window. On that secondary window, there will be some task, something on which you will click. Again, it will open a further new window. So again, on that window, you will be having some interaction through which the user is clicking, and further one more window is opening, right? So the depth of the windows, the number of windows which has been involved in accomplishing some of the objectives, some of the tasks, that depth of the windows should be not very big. You should minimize the number of windows which is required to complete your task, right? So even though it is good that you have some sequence, you are following some sequence, but if the depth of the windows or number of the windows are more, then it is not a good symbol of good designing. So the general rule, what it talks about when it comes to the number of windows, the general rule, it talks that minimize the number of windows which is used to accomplish an objective. Use single window whenever possible. Consider, however, the user task. Don't clutter up the single window with rarely used information when it can be placed on a second or infrequently used window. So what exactly it's telling? As possible, as much as possible, you minimize the number of windows. But most of the time, see that your application can be managed with the single window, but it doesn't mean that you should put everything in the single window only, because if you put so many tasks in the single window, then it can be a cluttering up, it can be a mess up. It's like you have so many things, so many buttons on the same window. It will look messy, it will confuse the user also. So you should not clutter up the single window also. So in that case, you have to design in such a way that the functions which are not required frequently, you can put it on the secondary window, and that window can be opened up through some of the menu options, something like that. Okay, so that is what it is talking when it comes to the organizing of the windows function. Now we'll start with the next topic, which is talking about windows operation. Okay. So in the windows operation, we have to see all this active window, because you know when you are working on the window, you just think any window when you will open, right? There will be an active window. If you have a windows in overlapping fashion, right? Then in overlapping fashion, one of the window will be active window, or even if it is the tiled fashion, the window on which we have a cursor, right, on which we have click our cursor, that will be an active window. So what are the different operations on the window? Active window, opening a window, sizing windows, window placement, window separation, moving a window, resizing the window, other different kinds of operation, window shuffling, and then the operation on the windows through a keyboard controls and mouseless operations, and then finally closing a window. So what we are going to study, like when we are making any active window, we have to see that what controls to be make it as active. When we are uh, sizing any window, then we'll use that size grip, right? So to change the size of the window. So what should be active? That all that we need to understand whenever we are doing whenever we are moving the window, uh, resizing the window. So all these things we need to study. So starting with the active window, a window should be made active with as few steps as possible. Usually you should differentiate the active window from the other window. So that is also there, right? How we'll come to know that which window is active window, which is inactive window? So when just by looking at the number of windows, if you have a windows in the tile fashion, right? So which is active window? For example, suppose I'm coming to this. Now you can see this screen where this is our MS Team screen, and you can see that there are number of users have joined, and all the users are shown with one kind of window. You can see over here Shubhodip Saha is there. So you can see the if you have that large gallery view, or even now this is also visible for you, right? So we can see that for each user, I mean for each student, which is represented by different window, and which is this presentation style. This is tiled presentation style of the window, because tiled means what? Where all the windows are visible, right? And they have divided in the complete screen area, the complete window area has been divided into the number of users which are right now attending the session, right? So all are showing as a different. Now if someone speak, suppose can Shubhodip, can you speak, or anyone?
Ma'am.
Yeah, so see, Nikita speaks, that time that window has become active, and that has been differentiated with the blue color, right? So
Yes,
whichever
ma'am.
window is active, that it has been shown as a different color. So when we are saying that active window, it should be differentiated with the different color. And this is not only with respect to this example. You would have seen in many example where on your laptop you have opened your PDF also, you have opened your Word some file also, you have opened your some other document also, different kinds of. So on which you are working, that will be active, and it will be visually, it will be different look will be there than the other windows, right? So that is what it's talk about the active window. And what are the general guidelines which we need to take with respect to active window? Design easy to use and learn windowing operations. So direct manipulation seems to be faster and more intuitive interaction style than the indirect manipulation for many windowing operation. Manipulation, it seems to be a faster because when it is active, you can work on that particular window, right? So this is not happening as just like automatically, right? It is programmed like that. When any window is active, it is not automatically it start working anything, right? We have the designer, the developer has programmed in such a way that, so when the active is when the window is active, we can do a direct manipulation on it, that like we can size of the window we can change because it is active, so it is faster, right? We can minimize it, maximize it, right? So these are all direct manipulation. Then more on that, we can interact through that. So directly we are working on this. So that is faster if it is a active window. So you as a designer, you have to take care of all these things, right? Then next is minimize the number of windows operation necessary to achieve the desired effect. Make navigating between the windows particularly easy and efficient to do. So navigation also between the one window to other window. As an user, we know what is navigation. We can do that with the alt tab, right? But as a designer, as a developer, what you have to take care at the programming part, right? That you have to understand. And that when you will take care at the programming part, you have to think that how many number of windows right now are available on the screen of the user, and then in between how many windows, I mean, it is going to be navigating. So that as a designer you have to think of, right? So that should be easy, that should be efficient.